Mental competency can become one of the biggest roadblocks in a criminal case, delaying justice for years while courts determine if a defendant can even stand trial.
At the center of the issue is whether they can understand the case that's against them. Jim Spiewak looks at why the process can take years, leaving victims and their families waiting.
What does mental competency really mean? And is it different inside of a courtroom than outside of a courtroom? Those are the questions that I set out to answer as some families are waiting years for a defendant to be deemed competent and cleared to stand trial.
My whole world just flipped upside down at that moment. I could not find my cell phone. I was just in a state of panic.
Ashley Carter has been fighting for her son for 10 years. Paris Gustin was just 16 years old when he was shot and killed in Salt Lake City in 2016.
He didn't believe that evil existed or that it would even enter his world because he didn't live like that.
When the alleged shooter Fortunato Villaganara was arrested, Ashley thought the worst was behind her. But then came a legal fight she never saw coming over whether the defendant is mentally fit to stand trial. Villaganara's competency has been a source of back and forth since 2022 when he was first arrested. He was first deemed incompetent by the court in 2023, then early this year ruled competent after multiple evaluations.
I have 3 state evaluators who have confirmed he is full of BS and that he is not suffering from schizophrenia or any of the other ailments that he claims that he has.
So there's kind of 2 answers to that question.
Dr. Jeff Hahn directs forensic evaluations at the Utah State Hospital. He says every defendant is measured against the same legal competency standard.
The factors that can affect someone's competency, which is their ability to understand court, to work with their attorney and make decisions, can be influenced in different ways by different types of mental illnesses.
Hahn says evaluators have tools to detect when someone is exaggerating or faking their symptoms.
There's a common misperception that mental illness alone means someone is incompetent to stand trial, and that's just not the case.
Records show in most cases, defendants who are found incompetent eventually restore and face their charges in court.
Even though they may have been competent 2 months ago, what the court is concerned about in the fundamental fairness of the competency doctrine is what are their abilities now as they're actually engaging in the legal proceedings.
Someone may say there has to be a better way. Is there a better way to do this?
I don't know. It is essential and it's fundamental in our law that people are competent.
In 2006, Utah lawmakers passed a law allowing prosecutors to restore a defendant to competency through involuntary medication, which was used in the high-profile case of Wanda Barzee and the Elizabeth Smart case. A request to forcibly medicate her co-defendant, Brian David Mitchell, was also made but not used, and that case moved to federal court where he was deemed competent based on evidence he was exaggerating mental illness.
There has to be a substantial governmental reason for doing it and how they determine that is a high bar. But also, these medications come with them a host of potential negative side effects, and they're very serious, and so it's a serious proceeding that considers those.
Forced medication is not the only path to restore competency. Many cases rely on hospital-based decisions or long-term commitment when restoration is not possible.
The biggest thing for me was getting my son justice.
For Ashley, that process has meant years of sitting in the same courtroom as the man accused of killing her son is now deemed competent.
I feel like we're finally getting somewhere, so, like I said, I'm always praying for the best, but I'm always ready for the worst.
Fortunato is scheduled to be back in court for a scheduling conference. That's the next step in his process. That'll happen on April 6th. Reporting in the studio, Jim Spiewak, KUTV 2 News.